If you're feeling awkward on camera during your YouTube videos, like you're stiff or monotone or just not being yourself, then the good news is that you're not alone. Even better news is that you don't have to be perfect. In this video, I'm going to show you ways that you can start working on your on-camera presence today without chasing perfection. I've been doing YouTube for 3 months now, and my delivery of my videos is something I've been working on and I've studied a lot about. So I'm going to show you different ways that you can start improving it today. So number one, comfort trumps confidence. It's not about being confident on camera, it's about being comfortable in front of camera. So how do we become comfortable in front of camera? Well, there's 3 things that we can focus on. The first thing is our on-camera state. What do I mean by that? It's about loosening off before you actually start recording. So just sitting down in front of the camera, getting used to sitting in front of the lens and just doing whatever it is that makes you loosen off. It could be breathing exercises, it could be singing, it could just be letting whatever noise you want to let out come out. And that will just help you to loosen off and feel a bit more relaxed before you actually start talking to the camera for real. The second way we achieve comfort in front of camera is through repetition. So it's a case of practice makes perfect, or almost perfect. The more that we actually just sit down and start speaking to a camera lens, we can actually start to get more comfortable and feel more natural in that kind of setting. And then the final way that we can achieve comfort is through environment. And by environment, I mean actually where we're sitting whilst we're talking to the camera. So right now I'm talking to you in the middle of the woods next to my house. I find that personally a lot more comfortable and a lot more natural than sitting in a purpose-built kind of studio. Now, aside from all the flies that are buzzing around me that you've probably seen on this video, I find this really comfortable. Now, that's not to say that that will suit everybody, but it's about finding an environment that you feel at ease in. If you feel at ease in a particular environment, you're naturally going to become a lot more comfortable when you're talking to the camera. So the second way that we can improve our on-camera presence is through eye contact. So when you are looking at the camera lens and maintaining eye contact, that is a great way to engage with your viewer. But maintaining eye contact 100% of the time can look a little bit unnatural and maybe a little bit intense. The rule that I kind of apply is to try and maintain eye contact with the camera lens about 70 to 80% of the time. So allow yourself, whilst you're maybe between sentences or swatting flies away from your face, to break eye contact, because that's what you would naturally do in a conversation. You'll look away from the person you're speaking to. Keeping eye contact and not blinking for the entire conversation is going to be intense. A little tip that I've picked up on is if you are using your phone to film your videos, is do not have the camera, don't use the front-facing camera on your screen, because A, that's not as good a camera as the one on the back of your phone, and secondly, it encourages you to look at the screen where you're seeing yourself and therefore you're not looking at the lens. So that's the mistake a lot of people make, is we film ourselves so we can see ourselves in frame, which is fine, but you start looking at yourself and you're studying yourself because it feels strange and you're like, oh, do I look okay? And then we don't look at the actual lens and actually look at the person that we're speaking to, and that's how we start to lose our audience. So the trick is to make sure that you're facing the back of your camera that's got the better lens, the better camera, and that way you're not inclined to start looking at yourself in the screen and you're actually maintaining that eye contact. Okay, the third way that we can improve our on-camera presence is by being a bit more dynamic. And what do I mean by that? When I first started recording videos for YouTube, I was very monotone and was kind of speaking like this. And obviously that's not particularly engaging and people are going to be more inclined to drop off. And because we're really wanting to keep that average watch time high on our videos, it's important that we're speaking with a little bit of character to us. Now, it's not acting, it's just how you would speak normally. But for whatever reason, when we first start practicing recording YouTube videos, we can tense up and freeze and we start to speak a little bit like this because we're a little bit nervous and feel a bit awkward. But the point is that that's not how we would speak normally. You're not letting your true self come across on camera. And the only way to really start building up that engagement and that connection with your viewer is to actually start being a little bit more dynamic in terms of your delivery. And we can achieve that just through changing the tone of our voice from time to time, changing the pace at which we're speaking as well. So if you want to come across really enthusiastic, you might start talking like this and being a little bit more engaging. But if you want to really slow it down a little bit and make a valid point and make sure that point comes across, you might start talking a little bit more seriously like this and make better use of pauses in your delivery. So mixing it up all the time is what keeps things interesting. So changing the tone and the pace at which we speak will help to make things more natural, more engaging for our viewer. Okay, the fourth way that we can improve the delivery on our videos is by trying to reduce the amount of filler words that we use. Now, I've made a separate video about this, I'm going to link it here, but ultimately filler words are things like and so and you know, and these types of words that we typically use to fill the awkward silences between our sentences. It's our brain processing what we've just said and preparing ourselves for what we're going to say next. But the reality is that we should just embrace those pauses. Those filler words are not really particularly professional looking, and they typically don't instill confidence in what the person speaking is saying. So if someone is watching this and you are introducing all these filler words, it comes across like you don't maybe really know what you're talking about, or you're not saying it with conviction. So trying to reduce the number of filler words can help with our delivery, and I've made a video about that. The fifth and final point I wanted to raise in this video, and I think is probably the most important, is that realism trumps perfection every single time. So whilst these other four things that I've told you about are ways that you can improve the delivery in your videos over time and things that you can practice, you need to give yourself the freedom, you need to give yourself the permission to not be perfect in front of camera, to allow yourself to make mistakes, to lose your train of thought, to let those filler words slip out, all the things we've just spoken about. In the short term, it's okay for those things to happen. It's what makes you real. If we are delivering a perfectly polished delivery in our video, but it comes at the price of sounding like a robot, then we're not engaging and we're going to lose that audience anyway. So as soon as you allow yourself to not be perfect and to make mistakes when you're delivering your videos, you're naturally going to just relax into it a lot better, because you've taken that pressure off yourself to have everything word perfect. So you can practice all these things that I've spoken about in this video, but don't let it stop you from starting in the first place. Accept that your delivery is not going to be great in the early stages, and if you want proof of that, you can go back to my early videos and you'll see that my delivery, hopefully you'll see, my delivery has improved a lot since that first few videos. It's natural that we're going to be a little bit tense and a little bit wooden in those early videos, because it's just something we're not naturally used to doing. Let me know what you think in the comments. What of these techniques have you tried already? Are you just getting started? Have you been doing this for a while now? What other ways have you found that helps you to improve your delivery on camera? I'd really be interested to know about that. If you've been watching this far and you haven't met me before, my name is Steve Brocky, and I'm documenting my own YouTube journey whilst trying to pass on what I've learned to help other people get started and grow their channels. If you've enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up. That's going to help me immensely. And if you're interested in more YouTube type videos, I would really appreciate you considering subscribing to the channel and joining me on this journey so we can help each other along the way. All that leaves is for me to wish you a great day, an even better week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. In this video, I'm going to show you some ways that you can work on your In this video, I'm going to show you ways that you can work on your on-camera presence without chasing perfection. No. In this video, I'm going to show you ways that you can start working on your on-camera presence. This is difficult. In this video, I'm going to show you ways that you can start working on your on-camera. This is hard. In this video, I'm going to start.